everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books, and guess what, there's another one. I talked about this book at the end of a different video, I can't remember which one it was now, because I'm reading quite a few books at the same time, if you hadn't figured that out from my book update. This book is called An Anonymous Girl and it's by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. Comment on it is she's lying to know the truth. It says it was 100 pages. It's not 100 pages, it was a lot longer than that. It's in fiction, contemporary fiction, crime thriller and psychological fiction. It's an interesting book. I think I saw something about it possibly being a movie, but I'm not sure. And if it is a movie, I definitely want to watch it because reading it was impressive. It says fans of Gone Girl and Girl on the Train will adore this classy domestic noir set in New York. This book, wow, it was a page turner, and it all done in kind of diary forms. I want to say it was about 400 pages. Yeah, I definitely had an interesting relationship with this one because I read the first couple of chapters, wasn't really sure what I was getting into, kind of put it down for a bit and then picked it up and then read it quite quickly over the next couple of days. Oh, there's a lot to unpack with this one. Got a blurb for you from Goodreads, so here it is. Seeking women ages 18 to 32 to participate in a study on ethics and morality. Generous compensation, anonymity are guaranteed. When Jessica Farris signs up for a psychology study conducted by the mysterious Dr. Shields, she thinks all she'll have to do is answer a few questions, collect her money, and leave. But as the questions grow more and more intense and invasive, and the sessions become outings where Jess is told what to wear and how to act, she begins to feel as though Dr. Shields may know what she's thinking and what she's hiding. As Jess's paranoia grows, it becomes clear that she can no longer trust what in her life is real and what is one of Dr. Shields' manipulative experiments. Caught in a web of deceit and jealousy, Jess quickly learns that some obsessions can be deadly. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? But yeah, so you start off by meeting Jessica. It's all done in diary form, so you get like a date in the corner. And there comes a point when you stop seeing just Jessica's point of view, you also start to see Dr. Shields' point of view. When we first hear of Dr. Shields, there's the assumption that Dr. Shields is a man, and then that gets turned on its head when you realise that Dr. Shields is a woman. You're basically getting diary entries from Jessica, and then what is essentially a doctor's therapy session notes from Dr. Shields. The way Jessica gets into this mysterious study is all based off of a lie. All of it. Jessica is a makeup artist and she does for Broadway because it's set in New York, and she ends up working for a business which has very close ranks on it, so you can't use the name to do your own work. You can't, basically, while you're with them, you're not self-employed. Well, I think technically you are, but basically she has to do all her work through the company. So if she does any work kind of self-employed away from the business, you could get into a lot of trouble. Dr. Shields kind of preys on that a little bit. There comes a point in the book when I just thought, wow, this woman is a psycho. To be honest, I think there were parts in the book when I thought both of them were psychotic. Because a lot of the book is based on morality, and that is basically the heart of the study that Jess is involved with, that Dr. Shields is researching. It does make you think a lot about morality and whether it's that whole thing of like, can lying be a good thing? Especially when you've got that thing of, you know, she got into this study by lying because she starts off as I said, you know, she's working as a makeup artist. And then she overhears one of her clients talking about a study and that pays a lot of money, and her client just basically doesn't want to go to it. And so when Jess realises that, and she realises, oh, maybe I could get quite a lot of money for just answering a few questions for a study, she hijacks her client's phone, gets the information and shows it for the study. There's so much to unpack and I don't want to spoil it all, but it's just ridiculous, this whole story. I don't think I've ever read a book like this. One that had me thinking that much about therapy and how you can be manipulated and the position you are in when you think you trust someone, but then at the same time you still have to keep secrets because you don't know how they're going to react to them. Yeah, it's just really, really interesting. You're hearing Jess's point of view of when she is going to these sessions and, you know, she's answering questions and she's doing stuff for her therapist. And then as you go through, you realise all is not as it seems. Everybody is connected. There's some truly crazy people at work. There's a murder mystery in there as well. It's so good. It's so good. When I googled just blurb, because obviously it wasn't on BorrowBox, so I got it off Goodreads. But again, as I was typing in an Anonymous Girl movie came up, so I want to see if it actually is a film. It was acquired for a series development. Oh, that would be cool. Anonymous Girl adaptation TV show coming to USA that was from March 2019 and August last year. Again, there was more stuff on the series, but it hasn't actually come out yet. So anticipated movies of 2021, even though it looks like it's going to be a TV series. But yeah, it really does have that question of morality. And there's a point when I was just like, oh, I think I know what's happening here. And then I came back out and it was like, oh wait, no. It was that moment of just like where I thought, because basically Jessica has a one night stand with a guy and doesn't realise that this guy is married. And there was a point in the book when I thought that Dr. Shields knew about it. And that was because I thought, oh, that makes sense, you know, it sounds like everything's clicking into place. Dr. Shields know, and that's why this is all happening. And then a few chapters on, it was just like, wait, no, she doesn't. Dr. Shields doesn't know about the one night stand, which makes this even more confusing. There's points when I thought that Jess was a bit crazy. There was points, well, from the majority of the book, I just thought, wow, this Dr. Shields is a nut job. But yeah, there's a murder mystery in there with the diary entries and you're seeing two points of view. You're not really sure who to trust. You know there's an unreliable narrator in there somewhere. There were points when I thought both of them were unreliable because I was just like, at the same time, we're getting Jess's point of view where she's talking in like I form. And because Dr. Shields is writing about Jessica, the Dr. Shields chapters are on the same thing, like I'm watching you. I know, creepy. But she's talking about Jess and because she is a subject, that probably sounds really weird, but it's because she's a subject in the study, so she refers to her as a subject quite a lot of it. Then there comes a point when the relationship changes and she starts referring to her as Jessica, and Jessica starts to refer to Dr. Shields as Lydia. Just that big morality thing, especially when you realise that, because I think it's in the first study, she just goes in, answers a couple of questions and gets about 500 quid from it, and Jess is at a point where she's just like, yeah, 500 quid for answering a few questions, it'll help me to pay my rent and whatever. And then after that study, after the first round, you learn very quickly that Dr. Shield has abandoned the original study to focus on Jess, and you're trying to work out what this new study is when you kind of start to connect the dots with the one night stand. You start to think that has something to do with it. I might as well just say it. Jess has a one night stand with Dr. Shields' husband, but at the beginning, nobody really knows the connection there. But through that, you then learn about Dr. Shields' husband from the point of view of both Jess and Dr. Shields. And it's also that thing of just like, how much would you do to fix a relationship with someone you love when they obviously do not want to be with you anymore? And how far would one person go to save the person they're in love with, even though they know that that other person is doing everything they can to get out? This is more than just a story about Jess. It talks about Jess's relationship with her parents. Through the study, you realise it's, you know, she actually does get genuine therapy from Dr. Shields. She starts to be able to kind of battle her own demons. She's able to confront some stuff that she's gone through, whether that's through relationships, with her sister, with her parents. And as things go on and you realise how everything's connecting and things start to crumble, and you realise how manipulative Dr. Shields is becoming. Because there are certain chapters where you just you question Dr. Shields' sanity, because there's certain of Dr. Shields' chapters where she's talking to Jess and she's like, I own you. I own you. A therapist talking about a person like that. I own you. And as you see Jess's life falling apart, and you're just coming back to Dr. Shields and like say thinking, would she really do that? Would she really go that far? Because Dr. Shields is presented to you as this stand-up woman who has got everything she's ever wanted. She's grown up in like the richest part of New York. She has the designer wardrobe. She has kind of like, she has everything that you think a woman would want, including what she thinks is the perfect husband. And yet at the same time, Dr. Shields knows that her husband has been unfaithful, and she's still trying to fix it. She doesn't want him to disappear because she's in love with him. It's only as I'm talking to you about it, talking to a camera, but it's only as I'm talking about it that I'm realising how much I've learned about Dr. Shields. I know she's not a real person. But it's really, really weird to think about what would you do in that, if you were in Jess's position. Because there were certain points in the book where I was just thinking, that's the point when I would just go to this woman and go, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? The thing is, there were also times when Dr. Shields comes across as quite a loving person and quite a caring person. But then it's like like a switch has gone off. And you see kind of the dark person kind of within and how crazy she can be. And you're just like, as you're reading through, it's just like, how far would she go? How far has she actually gone? And yeah, it's incredibly disturbing. It is, but in the best way possible. This book was fascinating. It's just, yeah. Goodreads has told me how long it is. It was 375 pages. I knew it was kind of the 400 page mark. Yeah, it's 375 pages. It says target audience adults, but I can see some older teenagers enjoying this book. To be honest, I could very easily have read this book as a 13-year-old and enjoyed it. To be fair though, I was quite advanced with reading when I was younger, so I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on kind of what your taste in books is and what you can handle. Because as you evidently know from me doing this for 3 years, that I really like a good mystery. I like psychological stuff. I mean, one of the next books I'm going to read is From a View with Kate by Stephen King. I'm really looking forward to this. Every single time I just look at the blurb, I'm just like, it's just, there's just one thing on the back of this book that makes me go, I really want to read this, and it's, come close, children, and see the living crocodile. Who wants to get close to a crocodile? A vintage 54 blue Buick Roadmaster. At least that's what it looks like. This sounds disturbing and I love it. And then you've got other things on my bookshelf, like Pear-Shaped by Stella Newman. I've got quite an eclectic taste in books if you hadn't figured that out. I definitely want to read more from these two authors. It seems they've done other stuff. There's a book called You Are Not Alone. Ooh. Available 28th of April. Okay, you're just watching me reserve a book here. There's You Are Not Alone. You'll wish you were. Oh my god, that sounds so good. Okay, reserve. Confirm reserve. Thank you. We'll have that by probably middle of April. If you like, sorry, why can't I say that word today? If you like psychological fiction, you'll really, really enjoy this book. It's just that kind of that breakdown. You know it's horrible, but at the same time, if you know what's happening, it's kind of fascinating. My brain is just going because I literally just finished it. I finished the book and went, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this. So I came up and put my camera on. Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. There is the front cover of the book for you. Go read this. Oh my god, it was fascinating. It just went a little bit further than some other psychological fiction that I've read before. And yeah, as I said, you know, when you realise who's having the breakdown, it just gets... It's like I'm growling like my niece, because my niece has I deal with this. Yeah. absolutely fascinating, brilliant book. Oh. Anyway, I'm going to cook a spag bowl tonight, so I'm going to go do that. Can you tell I'm in a good mood today? I've been out washing my car. My niece helped me wash my car today, which was very nice. But I didn't know that's what I was going downstairs to when I got up this morning. So when I got the calls going, Bob in! And then it wasn't until I got downstairs in my jeans and like my long top and everything, she was like, I'm going to wash your car, Barbed! It was like, okay. She was like, come! It was like, oh, we are both washing my car, okay. But actually it was quite nice because my car hasn't moved at all in this lockdown because, well, I'm not going anywhere, am I? But turning on my car, because I had to obviously move it so that we could wash it, and it made me realise how long it had been since I drove my car, and it was kind of depressing actually. It was just like, wow, I really have not been anywhere in months. I almost said in a year, but I did go back to work at kind of September, October, before we went into lockdown again. So, but it has been a while. Anyway, I'm going to go cook. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Debbie. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. You can pop on those bell notifications if you want, but if you do follow me, you'll realise that I upload at the same time every single Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week with another video. Mwah. This is another one that I'm going to read, Stephen King's The Stand. For the first time, a complete and uncut edition. This is going to be fun.